Here goes the record. There goes the encoder, and we are up.
What's going on? Thanks for hanging out with us. This is the IT and the D Show, episode 371. Hanging out in our quarantined homes. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek.
Which,
Randy,
let's be real,
do the Twitters.
We're never going to get out of, apparently. Never, ever, ever.
This chair is a lot more comfortable than that $40 office chair in the studios, by the way.
Hey, they were $80. Don't get snippy.
And by the way, we have a guest this week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually excited.
I'm sorry. Were you channeling your Gary Paulette there, or is that what you're doing?
Inner Gary, yeah. Hey guys, this is. But no, we're super excited. Paul Blatt's on the horn from JVS Human Services. Never a dull moment with Paul in the house, and has pages and pages of notes of all the good things he's doing, which I have not read yet, but I'm sure he'll fill us in. Find us online, itandthed.com. Do us a favor, give us a like on the socials, and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Yeah, and nothing's changed on the events front. Go figure. If we're not in the studios, we are damn sure not having events, which is sad because, yeah, I mean, it's been February since we've like hung out en masse and had a drink with folks and said hey and clapped each other on the back, and it's probably not happening this year, but it is what it is. So, yeah.
I mean, and again, we talked about it before, but like doing the whole networking thing over Zoom is kind of like doing a first grade class on Zoom, where everybody's screaming to be heard and no one is.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a third grader and it's terrible. And for what it's worth, the only thing that would make it worse is anybody with a child that has a band class and has a recorder currently in their home. My thoughts and prayers, because I'm dealing with that myself, and that's the struggle is real.
Ukulele in the house.
Teaching how to play Don Ho, or
yes. No, I got one child. We have the piano also, and I got one child to play Flash Gordon, and then I don't care about the other two. As long as the one kid played Flash Gordon, I'm like,
as long as the one's willing to be your favorite and suck up to you however she can. That's
right. Play Flash Gordon. Okay, cool. The rest of you kids, no, you don't need to learn piano. I don't really care about you two.
Yeah, mine's actually building up a nice 80s entire catalog. She plays Take on Me. She plays Don't Stop Believing. She's Home Sweet Home. She's cranking through them. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Benny and the Jets Gretchen could play also.
Yeah, I think she's basically auditioning to be allowed to stay home the next time I have a party in the basement. I think that's what she's doing. That's good.
Paul, how you been, man? How's the quarantine treating you?
Man, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to think of all the things that my daughter hasn't entertained me with. She hasn't played an instrument for me. There's no bands going on here, but we're doing okay. I sent my older one off to college to try to avoid things that he's supposed to avoid, but I'm not sure how well he's doing there. And then I have a 15-year-old home, so I can't even imagine a third grader and trying to deal with that space.
Well, no, I got a 16-year-old, a new 14-year-old, and a 6-year-old. So yeah, that's
13 and 11 here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I thought I heard third grader, and I'm like, holy cow. I have a buddy that has 4 in elementary school.
That's just bad timing. That's bad planning on someone's part. That's
I real quick on a personal note. So my cousin in Canada, they got 4 boys under the age of 7, right? He calls me up and he goes, guess what? I go, don't, if you tell me Jen's pregnant, I'm killing you. And he goes, she's pregnant. It's going to be a girl. So they got 4 boys under 7 and they got a girl coming like in 3 months. And I'm like, the humanity that you're putting your mother through.
Buy a PlayStation. What's wrong with him? Like, get like.
I said a lot worse things. Trust me. Remember that one, the best man speech I gave where I said if sex is a pain in the ass, you're doing it the wrong way? I told him if you're doing it the right way, this time.
This is what it is. Nice.
Trying to be subtle here.
Oh, God bless our guest with a sense of humor. So, hey,
Yeah.
Paul.
I know.
Let's talk about it. So JVS Human Services, we've had you guys on before. You guys do a lot of good stuff. And I guess, let's start there. Like, how is helping people finding a job or, making a career change, that kind of stuff going for you guys during all this chaos that's going on?
So I think you had Jason on a while ago from our team, and the one thing I'm so proud of is how quickly our team pivoted. There's so much that we never thought we could do. Well, you're going to say something smart ass, but
you can't say pivot.
Can't say pivot. I'm sorry. Is that like a drink? Am I supposed to drink? Is that
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Do we have to get a couch out and start worrying that way?
The bingo.
So
it's the buzzword bingo.
Yeah. So they did a good job of changing. How's that? Is that allowed?
There you go.
In these unprecedented times.
Oh, come on.
We're about to have paradigm shifts. We're about to have.
Gotta think outside the box.
Our team did an amazing job of going one day telling me that everything has to be in person. We can only help job seekers face to face. And a day and a half later, the entire team was out of their homes. They had computers set up in their homes, and they were still helping job seekers.
And honestly, I think that's been one of the biggest, I guess, eye openers that's happened through all of this is people understanding that, yeah, dude, face to face is great, and there are some things that you definitely want to be face to face for, but by and large, a lot of what a lot of us do day to day, we can do from anywhere, and this has really hammered that point home for people.
Yeah. I had one board member that picked up and went to Maine. And his kids didn't miss a day in school. His, nothing changed in their lives other than they just weren't seeing the same people on a daily basis. So, but they were still working and going to school without a problem.
Oh, yeah, I just found out a guy that I work with, basically he and his wife bought an RV, and then super amped it up. So it's got its own built-in cell, little cell signal and Wi-Fi and all that other kind of stuff. They've got 2 kids. They're just driving around the country doing their thing, and the kids are still going to school every day. They're still going to work every day. I mean, it's, hey, if you've got the creativity and the willpower to do it, more power to you.
Yeah, but one of the things that we're struggling with is I think the whole world is kind of paralyzed, right? So we're ready. We got our team ready, and job seekers don't know, or people don't know if they should be looking for a job. That they need to do something, and that's really a lot of the messaging that we want to be telling folks is, get active, do stuff, right? Learn how to interview online, learn how to do this Zoom thing, learn how to I know you said you can't network, but make connections and do some face to face with some folks. And too many job seekers just are waiting.
Yeah, they're kind of stagnating.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the weird part with the economy being down and people losing their jobs and stuff. You have some industries are flourishing. IT's flourishing, real estate and mortgages through the roof, I've never seen before in my life. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Who would have thought?
Yeah, and so some people are hurting bad. There's no question about it. We all know the hospitality industry is hurting really badly.
Entertainment,
that whole space, right? I mean, you guys can't have your parties with everybody, right? But
even if we wanted to have an event, which bars are open? And oh, by the way, we can only have 15 people show up.
So, I mean, but the most important thing is that when people are ready, that, our team is ready to help them out. Yeah.
So, and one of the things I noticed, just, some of the pre-show banter and some of the pre-show notes and that kind of stuff that we're coming across is it seems like you guys are focusing pretty hard and heavy on women in transition right now, which is, obviously a very hot topic. People, I mean, let's be real. I mean, one of the things that you've heard over and over and over again through the course of this entire quarantine period is, hey, divorce rates are going up, relationships are breaking up, a lot of things are ending, people are in life-changing situations, let alone career-changing situations. So talk a little bit about what you've got going on in that space and how you're focusing in there.
So, this is really new stuff. We've only been doing it for like 40 years. But actually this program, our Women to Work program,
I mean, in the grand scheme of time, that's not very long, but
so true. But our Women to Work program was originally a federally funded program called Displaced Homemakers.
Okay.
So very modern, very hip space. At the time,
very, very Mad Men, very, yeah.
At the time, it was when women had to go to the workplace because of divorce or a death of a spouse, right? That's the only time that women would be going to the workplace. I mean, that it's kind of an exaggeration.
It's changed a little bit, yeah.
I see June Cleaver in her dress vacuuming the living room kind of thing, and
right.
passed away. So we're glad we're not
telling Ward, telling Ward he was a little hard on the beaver. Yeah.
And he couldn't handle that one, man. But the other thing that we've seen in the last, I gotta leave that one alone. But the other thing that we've seen is that another reason why women step out of the workplace in the last 5-10 years was that they were caring for an older adult. So they were taking care of their parents or an in-law or whoever it might have been, and gave up their careers for a period of time, and then returning to the workplace. So we've seen a lot of iterations of what that means for women in the workplace. I don't know if you saw that article in Cranes a few weeks back that was talking about how for the first time in something like 40 years that women are not the majority of the workforce, because so many women have had to step back because of caring for children and whatever else things that are going on right now. So women are being impacted in a big way.
Well, it's like I said, right, before the show started, I was on a school board meeting, and that's one of the big concerns, that's been going on about, in school versus virtual and all that kind of stuff. It is falling more and more on the women, the moms, to take that step back and to figure out like either how to work from home or to walk away from the workforce entirely in order to make sure that things are, the kids keep moving forward.
So we're just glad that we're here, right? And we're glad that our Women to Work program, it's a 5-week program, first time that we're doing it online, but it's really looking at career exploration, giving people confidence, people that have been out of the workplace for a period of time, and letting them know that they have skills to bring, and that they can provide for themselves and their family. Hope is a big thing that we do. And one of the ways that we're able to do that is we have we're coming on, I think it's our 12th anniversary of our Trade Secrets event.
I was just going to go there. Yep.
Yeah, and Trade Secrets, the first one that we had, they didn't let any men in. They were like, this is a women's event. And it was like, wow. They realized that, they needed me there for a little eye candy. So we've opened it up since then for a little more diversity in the room, allowing men to be there. But most importantly is that it's a strong woman, business person, somebody that's been successful out in the workplace, that's sharing her secrets. This year we have Susie Fardman that's going to be sharing some stories with us. And during the time, usually it's an event that is 500-600 people, Troy Marriott, nice glass of wine, beautiful raffles, all of that traditional fundraising stuff. Our committee has done an amazing job, and the belief that we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna do it remotely. We're gonna have people in small groups in their homes, groups of 5 or whatever people are comfortable with. We're gonna try to make this thing feel and get all the excitement from the large crowds and kind of broadcasting from different locations. We're sending food to people's homes so they can
That's cool.
the event. Got bottles of wine sitting in folks' homes, and we're gonna still celebrate and raise money to help people and help the women that we've always been helping for the last 40 years.
So, and like you said, it is a fundraiser. So like where, I guess, do people buy tickets? Is it a donation thing? Is it like, how do people get engaged and help out?
Yeah, so I mean, donations are always welcome. We have tickets that will afford them a gift bag, and one of our amazing sponsors is Skinny Teas. It's I don't know what it is, but she's an amazing person that has grown her business. She was one of our former speakers. They're T-shirts that keep everything in, I think is what they are. But so everyone who buys a ticket will get a skinny tea, will get a book from Susie, and if they want to jump on, I mean, we're really going to encourage people just to be a part of the night, whether they are able to support us this year or not. We just really want to spread the word about some joy in the world and hearing some inspirational stories. And make it happen. So our website, jvshumanservices.org, is the place that you can get all that information. If anyone wants to drop a cool million on us, that's fine.
Turkish lira?
What's that?
Turkish lira, is that acceptable?
Yeah, so about $8 is what you're going for there, Bob? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking for the dong. That's what, or right?
Not yet.
Zimbabwe.
Boy, this was self quick. Woo!
Little Zim, I don't know. But either way, if it has value, we'd love to be able to use it to pay for our staff and to help people out.
Well, and one of the things that actually I didn't know you did, that I just saw, in the pre-show notes, you guys offer like emergency financial counseling and that kind of stuff for people that are distressed and are having some issues on that side, which obviously another big topic. I think there was I want to say it was 40%. That sounds high in my head, but there was a ridiculous number of people that missed a rent or mortgage payment in the month of September because of everything that's going on. And so obviously like that's a big service that people would need right now.
Yeah, so financial capability is going to be an enormous need. And what we would say is that the sooner people can get in touch with our team and talk to them, it's about getting a hold of your lenders and helping to make arrangements. If you can keep everything moving in the right place, it allows for you to keep from going into bankruptcy and all those other things, and
right.
really take care of your family during that time. And so I'm not supposed to share this with you guys. So don't tell anybody. All right. No
one's paying attention. It's fine. Yeah.
So we're in the process. I think it's going to be launched later this week. Is we got support from TCF Bank, and they've given us a grant to allow us to really encourage home ownership at this point. That we're going to be able to help about 40 people, either a grant for down payment assistance to help them, or even money that will help them to get into like paying off a debt of some sort, to get their credit scores in a better place, to position them better for home ownership. So we're excited about that. So even when things are feeling a little bit down and people are missing things, there's still opportunity for folks, and we just want to be able to in whatever way that we can be there to support people. So don't tell anyone, because that hasn't been launched. And Allison, our friend Allison, that's supposed to be like a deep secret that she's ready to put out in the PR tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you guys.
I don't know. I'm surprised my phone. If it was that bad, my phone would already be ringing. Let's be clear. I would have her in my ear chirping away.
You gotta sell what's on the truck, man. Never sell futures. Never sell vaporware. You know that. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't say anything about it, but like in reality, if people are having trouble, they're having trouble getting to their payments. The most important thing is to get in touch with one of our staff. Let's walk you through that process and help you stay in your home and keep your creditors off your butt. And one more thing that the JVS can be there to help people out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome, by the way. A big every time we talk to you, man, I get uplifted that there's people doing decent stuff for people in the world. You know what I mean? It just seems like everything's
it's a nice counterpoint to my Facebook feed. It's
yeah.
You just want to argue. It's not even doom and gloom. You just want to argue with someone because here's a little seed for you. Please take it, sir. Then you see his face. He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, back to 96 message forums all over again.
I would never plant a piece of cheese and wait for a mouse to come along, ever.
No. So hey, jbshumanservices.org. I mean, anyone can. I mean, this is open. I mean, if anybody needs help, right? I mean, this is on anything that I'm trying not to limit it to we talked about it, but I mean, if anybody with job stuff, with anything, I mean, you guys are open to.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a wide range of services they provide, and you should be checking them out. I mean, because it's one of those things where a lot of people complain that they don't know about resources that are out there and that kind of stuff. So what does it hurt to, just go check out the website and see what they do and have an aha light bulb? Oh, crap, I need that. Let me give them a call moment.
You know what I want to rant about is the one that people always complain that they don't teach money management and credit and all that stuff in school, like in high school, as if you would use that information in high school, and as if there's not 100,000 Udemy and YouTube courses and places like JVS. It's like,
well, dude, again, my kids are 13 and 11. They both have, I did that whole green light debit card thing with them. You can set it up through the app that, you can like set up chores that they can earn money for. You can delineate a certain percentage of their money that has to go to savings, some they can spend. You can dictate where they can spend it, that kind of stuff. And it is, I mean, it's teaching them money management and how to budget. They're both, they've both already saved up for stuff that they wanted to go buy, and they've gone and bought. I mean, so I mean, it's out there.
And you can push red light. Sorry.
Red light? That's a different thing, isn't it?
No, I need that for my daughter because I just got her a regular debit card, and it's like, wait, you're broke? Like that's like every week. Wait,
yeah,
you're broke?
Seriously, it's phenomenal. I friggin' love it. It's a great little app and a great little tool.
So I love my son for the fact that he's one of the cheapest people I've ever met in my life. He loves to earn money and he hates to spend it.
That's my daughter. Yeah, she's all about just like hoarding for whatever it is that she wants, and then she wants to price shop and then figure out where the best price is. Yeah,
and then, I mean that's part of it, but so it's one thing to learn how to budget when you have money. It's a way different thing to budget when you don't.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things I admire about people that have the courage to come to our services, because they're in a down place at that moment. So if they're willing to come in and say, things aren't looking the way I want, or I don't have the money to cover these things, and our team's able to really to help them figure out those bills, but then. As so many human service agencies are, if we're not doing that work, we're connected to people that are doing that work. And so if there's some emergency money that we can help people get connected to, we're going to be doing that as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hey, so when Jason was here, did he talk about our 2 new career centers that we launched? Not that I'm just throwing that out there, but
no, I honestly, I don't know that he did.
So we're out in Waterford, Michigan Works,
Right.
and helping people out there. Those folks, you know, when all that unemployment, million people applying for unemployment, not even their jobs, and they just like learned a new skill like months after they started their new jobs, and we're helping unemployed people get connected to the unemployment insurance agency, getting their unemployment, making that happen. We also have a new location down working with Detroit at Work, and it's in the old Durfee Middle School. I don't know if you guys are familiar down that area, next to Central High. And so there's this place called, it's called Durfee Innovation Center. There's 15 different nonprofits that we're all working in the same building. And we're there to, like, we're doing the workforce and financial literacy. There's someone else that does straight up literacy. There's a training program that's in there. Methodist Children is working with youth aging out of foster care. And it's just this amazing synergy.
I was gonna say that's actually got to be really helping all of you guys co-located and so close that you can like kind of cross-reference all the time.
So like Detroit Metro Youth, that used to be Boys and Girls Club, is in that space as well. So while the kids are getting help, the parents are coming in and getting other work, and it's amazing space. And it's really and it's just there to just support a community.
Very cool.
And it's awesome. It's very exciting to be down there. So another different space that we're helping job seekers and helping people, connecting them with the resources that they need. So you want me to just keep going on? You know, I got about another hour and a half of commercial to go through.
You can keep babbling if you want to. We don't want to hold you up all night.
So I had a 7:00 meeting this morning. I'm like dying right now.
Oh, well then, by all means, dude, we've gotten more than enough out of you. We can cut you loose, and God knows we have enough to babble about on our own. So yeah.
But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you having us out there and spreading the word of the work that we do.
For sure. And again, just to get it out there, it is jvshumanservices.org.
Yeah. Just come and get help. That's the most important thing. You know.
Jerry Violet Stuff Services.
Worst alphabet dude ever. Yeah. Okay.
Jerry Violet.
Yeah. Is it obvious that I wasn't in the military?
Yeah, because Jerry could be with a G.
No.
All right. Well, hey, Paul, thanks. Yeah, so thanks a ton, man. Feel free to drop off. We look forward to, whenever the next round is fun stuff. Oh, and actually the other thing is that event is November 19th, correct?
November 19th.
Yeah, so there's still time for people to get engaged and all that kind of fun stuff with that as well. Very cool.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah. So anything, I mean, if you're inspired by some of the stuff that I've been talking about, give us a call. If you have the ability to help us out, that's always wonderful, so we can help more people out. That's always appreciated.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, man. Have a good rest of the night.
Hey, you do the same. Take care, guys. Good seeing you.
Good to see you, bud.
I'm looking for the Jägermeister the next time I jump on.
It's over there in the freezer.
All right. You well, guys.
See you, man.
All right. See ya. Yeah. Speaking of, I got a 7:30 meeting tomorrow. So yeah, can't wait. That's what you get for asking bankers out for breakfast.
Oh, I was like, how'd you let that happen? What?
Hey, that's when they say they're going to be, going to be seen, and that's it. So, great weekend of TV. Actually, I was a lot of stuff dropped, and we actually had a ball this weekend. Binge watched a new series that I highly recommend. It's called Barbarians.
Okay.
On Netflix. I almost didn't watch it because it's dubbed over. Happened to look it up.
And you're not a dubs and subtitles guy.
No, but it's German Braveheart is what it is.
Okay.
So it's the Romans invade Germania, and at the time Germania wasn't united; it was a bunch of tribes, and it's kind of like the story of the one group that gets everyone together, and
okay,
it's like almost like 300 in Braveheart but it's in Germany.
Okay.
but it's crazy well done. It's great. It's shot beautiful. It's really good. It like it's one of those ones where like like you just look at Gladiator and it almost feels real.
Right.
Like this was like they did a great job with this. So yeah, highly recommend it.
Well, and I feel like the entire free world, or at least most of it, watched, or at least clips of it, the Borat movie that dropped,
Dude.
because of the Rudy Giuliani clip.
So let me tell you my take on it because I've watched all the pundits' takes on it. And do you know what happened? Like, did you watch it?
Yeah.
The Borat movie. So like, part of it, I'm like, this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever like seen in my life. Like, she just like, okay, cool, let's go into the bedroom, and he's like, cool, but like, at what point does he not like? And then she like takes out his microphone, pulls his shirt out, and then he like lays back to tuck his shirt in. But like, at what point does he like? The cameraman's right there, like throughout this process. But it was really creepy how quick he was like, oh yeah, let's go in the bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, how used to you are you?
How often does this happen? Yeah.
No, but the first thing you say, like, yeah, no, the cameraman, like literally the cameraman's right here. Like, there's got to be probably a mic guy too. I don't know, and like it just seemed weird.
It
I mean, it's a
super
giant
odd.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a giant nothing burger at the end of the day. But like, dude, that was like for him to get like, I don't know. It seemed like a lot of that stuff. It seemed like not contrived, but a little bit set up.
Well, dude, I mean, of course it was a setup. I mean, the whole premise of it. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like the Giuliani camp, like was maybe, and who knows. But for him to like lay down like that, like, dude, super weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I don't know, I guess it was all right. It was some of the jokes were funny. Some of them were.
I mean, it's Borat. Either you like it or you don't, and it's almost it's that, like, the first movie was one of those things that it was kind of, there's no middle of the road. Either you love it or you hate it. There's no.
Oh, I absolutely. It was I loved it.
There's no meh about it. Like, it's either, oh my god, this is
that was
genius,
one of my favorite memes, by the way. One of my favorite memes was, that's great. All we need left in 2020 is people doing
the Borat voice. Yeah, exactly. I did not have that on my 2020 bingo card. Yeah, no.
Awfully.
No, but it was what's that?
I was gonna say, it's awfully wishful thinking of them to think that's the last thing bad that'll happen in 2020. With 2 full months left.
Well, now that, yeah, I mean, like my neighbors got married. They went to Mexico, the Riviera in Cancun, and a hurricane hits the first day they're down there. And it's like, they're finally away. They're, thank God we're out, and then the hurricane hit,
2020.
Speaking of bad 2020 things, did you hear that the murder hornets are back again? They are tracking down nests in the Pacific Northwest and
and it's not even so much that they went away, it's that the news coverage kind of stopped. And I love the fact that the story was basically, they took a vacuum cleaner and sucked a bunch of murder hornets out of a tree. And I'll be honest, why they didn't have like a little like blender chopping machine somewhere in the hose to just kill them as they rolled through the vacuum hose, I got nothing. But the funniest part of the story to me was that they've been spending months trying to hunt down this nest. And the way they've been doing it is they would capture like 1 or 2 of them, and then they would bring them back to the lab. They would then, with dental floss, tie a little radio transmitter around the murder hornet and then let it go so that they could then follow the signal back to the nest. And I'm trying to imagine like that process. Like, would you just hold the damn thing still so that I can tie it? Say, no, damn it, you hold the thing still and get stung while I tie the crap around it with dental floss. What's wrong with you?
Can't shoot it with a dart? What the hell's going on these days?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're about as big as your thumb, apparently. So yeah.
I mean, if you're an expert marksman, maybe, but a dart would probably kill the thing.
Me with a 22, forget it.
Nice.
By the way, we had an anniversary today.
We did, and I it's funny because like right before you had sent that, I had been scrolling through my memories and that popped, and I was laughing super hard about it all over again.
5 years to the day, we trolled and infiltrated the Detroit Applebee's, which is one of our one of my funnier moments. Not funny, but so long story short, if you're not familiar with what we did, every news station, paper, everything talked about this. Detroit's opening up the very first Detroit Applebee's as if the Pope was coming. And they were writing about it like every 2-3 days. It was the dumbest thing ever. So we glommed on and decided to make Detroit Applebee's t-shirts and showed up right when they opened and basically made such a scene that we got quoted in the newspaper. Me saying this is a huge event. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to the city of Detroit. And and then they left to them all scratching their heads as to what the hell just happened.
And the best part was that we had the custom shirts made. Shout out to John Hoffman over at Fusion Marketing, whipped these together really quickly with the Applebee's logo with the Old English D instead of the apple. And like that's what sealed the deal is apparently like the employees there and even the manager there thought we were from corporate.
Yeah, what gave it away? I was drinking at noon.
Well, I mean, I'm not judging their corporate life. I mean, it could have been fun. But yeah, that was the best part is that, like, Bob actually got quoted in the Free Press, about, oh my God, yeah, this is amazing. An Applebee's on 8 Mile. Where's the parade?
Right. This is the whole world's here.
That was hands down. That was a hilariously spectacular day.
And I don't remember how I incorporated this. Like for months, I was doing the Detroit Applebee's.
Oh yeah, dude! As soon as the news story started, we were laughing about it and mocking it.
I think back then though there was a lot more inebriation going on in the production of this podcast.
Well,
than what's going on these days. Where stuff like that was actually funny, because now I'm looking back at it going, God, what a bunch of idiots we were. No regrets. Don't get me wrong, but we
are much more sober these days than we used to be.
Right. Oh yeah, slightly.
Especially 5 years ago.
Speaking of my friends in Mexico, did you see this crap going on with Delta?
Which crap?
Apparently with Delta Airlines, they are creating no-fly lists.
Yep.
If you're an asshole on one of their planes, without I'm not wearing a mask. This is America. Like, okay, cool. You're on the no-fly list.
Yep.
And that is a lifetime ban.
I have zero problems with it whatsoever.
And I don't understand, like, when you're sitting in a plane, like on top, in front of it, with it, in front of everyone, or next to my Alexa's doing off. I'm gonna.
Is that your Alexa in the background?
God Almighty! God Almighty! Sorry. I couldn't pay attention. Yeah, speaking of which, I posted on Facebook, my daughter, I get a bill from Amazon, and I'm like, I didn't buy shit. What is this? And it's like $1.68. I go, what in the world can you buy on Amazon for $1? And it was the Ultimate Farts multi-pack to make. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say the word because it's gonna turn on.
I think it's hilarious that you're trying to blame this on your daughter. Let's be clear. Like
I taught her how to do it. It's not that it's not like she didn't figure out. But apparently, if you say those two words, the A word and then fart, it actually just does.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
No.
Actually, I'm gonna do it now. Alexa, fart.
I can't hear it.
It did it though.
So I honestly, I think one of the biggest revelations of this week, like I did like Roadhouse, movie we've all seen, we've all seen multiple times, or at least Bob and I have. I can't speak for Randy. Apparently the original cut of the movie was 3.5 hours long. Did not know that. And did you know that there was a stage version done that our friend Timac from The Last Dragon had the starring role
in the stage version?
Yeah.
No, now let's get something straight. Like Roadhouse is probably one of the more ridiculous movies ever written. Like it's like Podunk USA, and then there's like the mafia guy that owns it's like Imlay City, like the guy that run like the mafia guy that like it makes
exactly.
no
well,
sense.
The local car dealership guy. It's
Right. And like this badass comes into town to make the rough bar clean, like no more fights. It's like
the double deuce.
It's so, but every time it's on, I have to watch it.
I'll be honest, I would be more likely to watch the 3.5 hour cut of Roadhouse than I am going to be to watch the 4 hour plus cut of Justice League.
Now, are they doing? Oh my God, I do not want to watch that. Are they doing the one with Ronda Rousey?
No, apparently that was last rumored to be a thing in about 2015 and has kind of fallen off the table.
They announced that 5 years ago. God, what's going on?
You know what did just come out that Skeptical Dave is a bit skeptical about, but they have announced they are working on a sequel to The Last Starfighter.
I don't know.
I had a Last Starfighter lunchbox when I was little, but I don't remember ever seeing the movie.
I don't remember it at all.
I totally do. That was go figure. The way my brain works, I could still quote lines on you. Zool and the Kodan Armada, and it was one of those movies that was it was cheesy. It was like Tron, just very cheesy, but just phenomenal. And it just either do it right or don't do it.
Tron was cheesy. Get out of here with that.
In retrospect, that's what I said. Like, dude, at the time, The Last Starfighter was phenomenal. You watch it now, and you're like, oh my God, so much. It's like watching the original Battlestar Galactica. You're like, oh my God, so much cheese.
It was great. The original Buck Rogers, original Battlestar. It's great.
I still watch them, but for their time, they were great. Now they are cheese.
They're not cheese.
They absolutely
take it back.
But actually, so speaking of flashbacks, Atari is coming out with a $390 console this year. Like, what? Why? Who out there is asking for a new Atari console? Who?
Enough. Like, isn't it enough? Now, who's making games for it? Did they say anything?
I mean, it's apparently like it wasn't even the guy. I'm assuming what they've done is they've put like, you've seen like the Atari flashback, consoles that are out, because they said that like the biggest selling point to this is that it's going to have a dual boot, and so you can actually run an actual computer off it, like an actual like basically laptop off it if you want to. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing just based on the descriptions that it's going to be more of an emulator thing more than anything else, as opposed to like games actually being released for it.
Yeah, no, and it's it's running Linux. Tons of classic Atari retro games. That fits on about what, 2 meg for like the whole entire
exactly
catalog?
Like an old flash drive.
Right, like for $400. And 3 different colors. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not rushing out to get that anytime soon.
And you got, this is bad. This was this was a Microsoft like the PC, but it was in media mode.
Right.
So this is like for streaming music and shit. Like I'm talking like 15 years ago.
Oh, I remember.
That's all this is.
That's what it looks like. And then one of the topics we hit on a lot earlier when everything was still going on was Fire Festival. And I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out. So apparently there is Billy McFarland, the scam artist extraordinaire that was behind the whole thing, has apparently been talking with over the phone, because can't have in-person visitors, in 15-minute increments, and is about to drop a podcast telling, quote unquote, his side of the Fire Festival story, which greatly confuses me because he was paid to do the Hulu version of that documentary that we all watched, and that was supposed to be his side of the story. So did the scammer just continue scamming people and scammed Hulu and didn't actually tell them his side of the story? Or is he now scamming people and there's going to be no new revelations because we've already heard it all?
No, he owes an ass ton of restitution, so he's trying to make money. So he thinks by doing a podcast is going to make enough money to pay for the restitution. Little does he know if he ever paid for a minute of phone calls. Not that I know, but in prison, I don't know if he wants that phone bill. From what I heard, I think it was like $15 a minute or some shit to call it. And
I'm not expecting this to actually go anywhere.
It actually landed him in solitary confinement. After news broke, they moved him to solitary.
Why?
So now he can't even get phone calls. Phenomenal. Yeah. Wah, wah.
And he's been in jail for 29 months, and he insists that the whole story hasn't been told. Like, what other? No, it wasn't just cheese and bologna. It was cheese, bologna, and lettuce sandwiches we gave the people. Like, what else could you possibly say?
It was Wonder Bread. You people don't understand the lengths we went to get Wonder Bread to make the sandwiches with. Right.
It was fresh baked, man. We did the.
So I love and God bless Midroll, but they've now been owned. They're now owned by what, the 8th company since we started working with them back in 2014. Now that Sirius has acquired Stitcher, which acquired Scripps, which acquired Discovery, which acquired.
Oh, I forgot about Discovery. Yeah, now it's Sirius XM bought Stitcher. Again, I guess God bless them if they can, right? But like, it doesn't, like, does Sirius want to be in the podcasting game or just buying content? I don't know.
I mean, are they now viewing maybe Spotify at all as more competition, as people are tuning into Spotify for their podcasts and their music and that kind of stuff? And maybe, who knows? I mean, I haven't seen any numbers released lately about XM subscriptions, that kind of stuff. Who knows?
I'm still mad at myself about the Sirius XM thing.
Why?
Oh, when I made that big commission check at HP, and this was right when the market shit and like.
Oh yeah.
And the Sirius XM stock was a nickel.
It was. I remember those conversations.
I would have just put like 10 grand on it to be worth like $1.5 million right now.
You would have never seen either of us ever again.
No, but like that was I'll never forget those days, like, because I remember putting I was going to do the Warren Buffett model, and I put 20 stocks together, and like all of them were like Citibank was $3. Like
Ford was way low.
Like Dow was $1.50, Ford was $1. And I kept calling everyone I knew that moved money. We're like, "Are you buying anything?" They're like, "Nope, it's all going private. We're going to lose our ass." So I'm like, "All right, hang on to it."
Damn you people.
Look what happens. Yeah, I know, right? Next time I'm not calling any of you. I'm just
going to do it and see what happens.
I'll lose my ass on my own time.
Right, and I just won't tell anybody. So a quick update to a story that we talked about last week. As expected, the rest of the story has broken. The New York Post reporter, Jeffrey Toobin, he was tubing. He absolutely was. He thought he was off the Zoom, whipped it out and started wanking. That's what happened. That's what we expected. That's kind of what we figured had happened. And that's precisely what happened. And why I need the flow chart. Like we've had this, like I need the decision tree that led him to pretty sure I'm off Zoom, gonna start wanking 2 seconds later.
Then what was his quote? I thought I put mute on.
Yeah, I thought I was muted. Okay, so they couldn't hear you is what you thought. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolute genius.
That's like who was I talking to about the God bless it. Who was I talking to? How many like they're saying you'd be shocked how many people get caught wanking in the car. And like they get put there on the sex offender registry, they're on the list, like their freaking lives are just ruined. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna say the line because you'll isolate it. But like
waiting.
whatever happened is the good old fashioned in the old fashioned way.
Well, and dude, I mean, I've seen it happen before. I mean, granted, the last time was years ago when I was still living in Virginia. But I mean, I don't. Again, walk me through the flow chart of your life that led you to here. I am in my car. Got to take care of this right now.
That was the scene in Hall Pass with Jason Sudeikis. When the cops rolled up and yeah,
don't get it. So I apparently one of the latest Facebook outrages that everybody's pissed off about is apparently It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown will not be on network TV for the first time in 40 odd years because Apple bought the rights to it. Kids, if it matters that much to you and you don't have the DVD or you don't have it saved on your DVR by now, whatever. I mean, it was in the dollar bin like 4 years ago, and I picked it up just to have it.
Plus, Apple is making it free to watch October 30th, or what is this? Is this Halloween one? Yeah, October 30th through November 1st. So you don't even need an Apple TV subscription to view it. You do need broadband.
Maybe because I'm an old man. Maybe I'm an old man and I'm a little bit of a purist. There's like certain things like I like watching on timed TV. You know,
the old school, like, you know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Rudolph,
and like some of those, you know, the old claymation stuff.
That was like the only ones. Even though I used to set the DVR for them, and we'd watch them over the weekend. But like, you know, I don't know. It's
one year for Christmas. I got my mom a whole box set of all of those Rudolph and the Grinch and everything.
I bought that too. Yep.
And still, she insists on watching them as they are broadcast on TV.
See,
well, dude, I have I got the Godfather box set. Doesn't matter if I'm scrolling channels and it's on. Oh well, guess I'm watching. That's just how that goes.
I don't know. There's a charm to it. I don't know. Maybe, you know, like I said, maybe I'm old school. It's kind of like a, you know, Christmas Story. You know, I got to watch it on TBS for 24 hours in a row.
Well, I mean, especially these days. I mean, I just watch it for the Shut Up Randy, and then I turn it off because that's all I need.
Speaking of which, I think we got a little present for Randy. I'm not going to announce it, but yeah, it'll be. I'll text you later. I'll text you tomorrow, Randy.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So instead of vague booking, now we have vague casting. Like, is that?
Yes. No. All right. Fine. It's out. There's a new TLD because we were looking for domains, and there was a .gay. So we're like shutuprandy.gay, and yeah. So that's
nice.
Absolutely. That's out. Nice.
And awesome. People are mad because like you are .gay, I am . It's all taken. Like, so you can't like point domains.
Of course they are. That's yeah.
I know. Like, and I thought it like just came out. Like, you know, like this is brand new. Like, but they're all anything I could possibly think of, gone. Like,
oh, they probably signed up in advance before they went on general sale.
Oh, I'm sure.
Typical. Sure. So I again just on the sequel front, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. Apparently, Lucas is going to be working on a sequel to Willow for Disney Plus.
Why?
Well,
why?
And I'll be honest, like that was one of those movies that I thought was like super under the radar, or like didn't get enough attention get as much attention as it should have. And I mean, I loved it. It was a great movie, and a sequel would have been great. Then I don't know that I need one now. What, almost 35 years later, or 25 years later?
Is it going to be like Lord of the Rings, Bilbo Baggins, that movie where he's like the old man now? And no,
didn't release a whole lot of plot points or anything, just that it was in progress.
Yeah. At this point, just give me give me movies, give me content. Like there's nothing else to do. I will watch anything right now. I watched Tremors 7 this weekend. I will watch anything.
Clearly. Well, did you watch Mando Monday?
Dude, no. Wait, hold on a minute. It was Tremors 7 starring Napoleon Dynamite as the main action character.
What?
John Heaton. Yes. And then he comes across this old man that looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway, like big white beard, like baseball cap. And I'm sitting there with my wife and I go, that's Michael Gross from the first one. She goes, you're full of shit. And I'm like, then he shaves his head and he's like, Michael Gross. This is the funniest part of this stupid movie, Tremors 7. It's like Predator, where they get this cast of characters to go hunt the tremor, the stupid thing. One guy's got like a Gatlin minigun, like this huge bodybuilder guy.
Of course.
Followed by a smoking hot woman with a bow and arrow. Followed by another guy with a 22 bolt action. So I'm like, how about the minigun guys go first?
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you getting with that? But yeah, it was as bad as I thought. What do you think about Facebook pulling the Monty Python joke and demonetizing Babylon Bee that everyone knows is a satire site?
Yeah, I'm pretty much fed up with Facebook and what they're doing. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Babylon Bee, but it's.
But you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Onion. It's stupid jokes. It's.
Yep.
And they've never really been they've been kind of tame. Like, they don't really go too off-putting. But apparently they used a one-liner from a Monty Python movie, which is pretty common. And like literally they got, who knows if it went to a review board, now it's fine again.
Yeah. What was the joke? Senator Hirono demands ACB be weighed against the duck to see if she is a witch.
And they get demonetized for that because it incited violence.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The Babylon Bee Monty Python.
Yeah.
A quote from Monty Python gets, or a spoof of a quote from Monty Python gets you demonetized.
Gets a satire site demonetized, which is even.
Well, and the funny thing is, like you read the article, and the guy was saying, we had every expectation that as soon as an actual human reviewed this, it would all go away and we'd be fine. It was not fine, in Morgan Freeman voice.
Well, the problem is they're 24-year-old first-time jobs that may or may not have seen Monty Python.
True.
Like for my two daughters, like that's required viewing for them. Even though I'm not a fan, I at least want them to dive in the waters because my one daughter, I think that's her sense of humor doing tea. And yeah, they freaking love them. But like, again, you're 23, 24, and that's your job. What are you going to do?
Apparently that. But as I hit on Mando Mondays quick, but yeah, so Mandalorian season 2 starts dropping Friday.
Nice.
Do they still need? I could have done without them showing me like cool clips. Like, hasn't it gotten to the point where we know it's going to be good? You know what I mean?
And please don't make the episode 1 mistake where you ruin the Darth Maul double-sided lightsaber in the trailer that should have been the moment in the theater.
Well, that was the one thing where they keep showing that one scene. What the hell do they call the goddamn missiles? The 100 missiles out of his wrist.
Oh, the hummingbird. I think.
Thank you. The hummingbird. Where he's in a room and there's like 20 guys with guns on him, and
yeah.
I would have, not saying I would like to have seen it, but like, please, enough. Like, we get it. Like, you can just show his head.
Yeah. Can you avoid? Can you, the people putting it out, can you avoid spoiling it? That'd be great. Like that.
No, at this point, like Baby Yoda's on cereal. This thing's taking a life of its own. It's bigger than any of them would have thought.
Have you seen the new one that they've got released for pre-order?
The remote control, when I saw the whoever posted it.
Yeah, so I did.
posted it.
So and it's it's $60. Not only is it remote controlled, but it has like there's a little thing you can wear around your wrist or around a necklace or something like that. It will follow you around because it's connected to the device, so it follows you around. You can put it in explore mode where it'll just roam around making its little baby Yoda sounds, doing its thing. It will play hide and seek with you, where like you push a button and then you go hide and it'll wait 10 seconds and then come find you. It looks outstanding.
No, we bought one for Annie's birthday. It's coming up, and it's like a life-size one, but it's just plain Jane.
Yeah.
And then of course it's supposed to be for her birthday. She goes diving into my wife's car and finds it. I'm like, all right, I guess you're gonna have it.
Well, happy birthday. Yeah.
Right, but they're setting it up. Again, this thing's bigger than I think anyone, John Favreau or anyone that ever anticipated this thing
that they could have hoped for. I mean, I would almost hope that this has far and away exceeded their expectations. Like there's no way that they could have counted on this being as big of a hit as it has been.
They just got the problem with this is like, I'm going to use a bad football analogy. This is kind of like a rookie coach winning the Super Bowl, and then he gets like a lifetime. Huh?
Yeah. And now what?
No. And then he gets a lifetime contract. And then he puts out like shit teams.
And then never wins again. So yeah, I said, and now what? Yeah.
Right. So I just hope that, Favre, JJ Abrams had like a couple cool cards up his sleeve, and then he kind of you run out of crap after a while. It's inevitable. Every band does it. How much crap do you got to write?
Hey, can we add more? Let's add lens flare. I think lens flare would be a cool addition in that scene.
I never hated lens flare. When did that become such a hatred? Like
when
everyone was bitching about it,
overusing it.
Because Bob, because butthurt fanboys, they just find anything to bitch about. It's yeah.
God, of all the things to bitch about, like that's
yeah, exactly. That's what you're going to focus on is the lens flare. Yeah, for sure.
Not that they brought up fuel for the first time in the entire Star Wars universe ever.
It's just the Force, Bob. Everything flies in the Force.
Right. Thor can float in space, but Princess Leia can't. Stupid.
Hey, so on the stupid tip, as we've said since the very first time Randy brought it up, bye Quibi. Bye Quibi. Bye. Stop trying to make Quibi happen. It's never going to happen. And sure enough, it's never going to happen.
So the day before they announced they were shutting down, they finally released smart TV apps, which was too little too late. Yeah.
Like why would you not have just pulled that at that point? Like you had to have known you were shutting down. Like unless like some developers had like their bonuses tied to that getting released or something like that. That just seems like a dumb move.
Yeah. But
for the final time say Quibi. All right, that's it. I'm done.
I think December 1st is roughly when they're planning on pulling the plug. But I just noticed that the app got an update today. I still have the app installed for some reason. Never ended up paying for a subscription, but the app had a bug update today.
Well, and then also, speaking of dying,
the whole app is a bug.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The entire app is a virus. It is officially malware. So James Randi, better known as the Amazing Randy, no offense, Randy, died. For those not familiar with him, he was actually one of my favorite people on the planet for the longest time. Like he was always on. He was a stage magician for a while, but then he became the Skeptic. Like he launched a foundation and put up $1 million of his own money. I want to say back in the late 70s, if I recall correctly. It was $1 million of his own money that if anybody could prove to him that they were actually psychic or clairvoyant, the $1 million was theirs. So that sat out there forever, and no one ever claimed it.
I don't know who the guy is, so.
I mean, that's just pretty much his big claim to fame. I don't know. Before that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd recognize him, or you would have recognized him if you saw him, like I said, as the Skeptic on one of like the magician show. Like I think he was part of that, the Masked Magician thing that they did on Fox. Like he was one of the commentators if I recall correctly, or he was a guest on it at one point.
He had 2 first names. Not a fan.
Right. That's usually a bad sign. And I still can't believe people are doing this. Speaking of bad signs, why parents stop naming your kids after commercial things, trying to get free stuff, because they're going to grow up they're going to be the Menendez brothers. Your children will grow up to kill you. Parents named their kids Twi-Fi, I'm guessing is the name, TWIFI, which is a wireless provider in, I believe, Sweden, if I recall correctly. And to get free Wi-Fi for life, like that. Like, really, saddling your kid with that name is worth.
What's Wi-Fi? $30 a month?
If that, like, don't you have a son, like, and it's, I mean, it's Sweden. Isn't everything free? Isn't it all social? Like, all the things I've been hearing, like, is it what?
Switzerland. What happens if it?
Oh, Switzerland. Okay, still.
Probably because they can't afford rent.
You're
giving your kid a shit ass name for $360 a year. $7,200 over 20 years.
Like that kid's gonna get beat up a lot. Like that kid's gonna have, like, there's gonna be a lot of therapy copays in that kid's future.
But it's not like it's pizza. It's technology. The shit changes.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do? Like, when that company goes out of business next year, then what?
Right. It's not like you can give me delicious hot and ready every other day for the next 20, for life. I might call my kid Little Caesar.
I mean, that would be awkward. That would be awkward since you've got all girls. But I mean, you do what you got to do.
I'll say no. It'll be Lil Caesar.
Then there'd be a rapper.
Yes.
Said, we talked about, like, bars and restaurants not being open here. This one was interesting to me, because I know a lot of places are doing it here, and some places are catching a lot of flack for it. But the New York City Council actually, passed a resolution and made it, basically bars and restaurants there can tack on up to a 10% COVID surcharge. For bills and stuff like that get rung up in the restaurants. And that's, like, I'm okay with that. Like, having talking with, the folks that are running bars that are bartenders, wait staff, or the folks that are running the restaurants down at DSC. Like, things are tough all over, man. Like, the supply chain is screwed. The price of everything to supply chain, the suppliers are costing more and more and more, and there's fewer and fewer customers. You're going to have to understand that if you want that luxury, not a necessity, a luxury of eating out, it's going to be dollars. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
Why do they make it a surcharge and not just make a $10 item $12 or whatever, $11?
Because just think about it are you going to reprogram every item in your POS as opposed to just adding a new line item that says $10? I mean, just look at it from a technology perspective.
I don't know. I don't want to see a 10% surcharge, but I don't care if it's $12.
Plus, people are dumb. They only consider the menu price and not the taxes and fees and tip and everything in the price when they consider going out. So,
well, I mean, yeah, DoorDash is proof of that. There's like 6 fees on there.
Yeah,
dude, I stopped using them.
$6 hamburger costs you $37 by the time it's delivered.
I'm at the point where I figure it's going to be double whatever I want on DoorDash. It's just double.
I've honestly stopped using them. It got straight up ridiculous, and I'm just, if it's not on Grubhub or Uber Eats is cheaper than they are. I just no.
I did the DoorDash. I bought the thing.
Yeah. So you're kind of locked in.
So then you get free delivery and free. All the fees are wiped. Everything's gone.
Cool. So we talked with Augie last week about the election. One of the weirder stories, or the freakier stories that's kind of freaking some people out, is there was a huge database of voter data, and I believe it was from Florida and
Alaska.
That got leaked. And people started getting emails that, basically said, hey, I see you're a registered Democrat. If you don't change your party affiliation and vote for Trump, here's your home address. Here's this, here's that. We're going to out you. We're going to do this. We're going to, basically almost a cyber threat, not quite ransomware because they're not locking the system down, but just threatening people with stuff. If you don't change your vote to Trump, and give and send us proof back that you've changed your party affiliation from Democrat to Republican, and people are like genuinely tweaked about it.
Good God! Now this just reeks of like being from Russia or like someone meddling with the election. Like,
Abso-friggin-lutely.
I believe it turned out to be Iran that did it.
oh, it was editor's note. Yeah, Iran did it. Iran so far away.
Iran so far away. Yeah.
But a lot of this information is public anyway. Like it's not, they didn't actually hack anything. A lot like voter party affiliation and stuff is public record.
Right.
So
yeah, if you know where to look.
And I don't know that the people who do this, no, I don't understand party affiliation registration anyway.
No, I've never registered for a party.
It's not a thing here in Michigan. You can, I think, but it's not required. Some states require it.
Yeah,
I
see, it only matters.
I've also I've never once in my life voted for one or the other party 100, down the line or whatever. You can click the.
Oh, it has no bearing on that whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh, register. You have to physically register then?
No, it's just like
for a party.
You can. It's not a big thing here in Michigan. It is in other states.
Yeah, if you want to vote in the primary or whatever.
Yeah, in some states, if you want to vote in a primary, you have to declare a political affiliation, and then they give you only the ballot that goes with that political affiliation.
Oh, Green Party it is.
Rah.
Nice Blatz can, Randy. Where'd you get Blatz from?
Blatz? This is
Randy.
Bars. It looked like
Randy
Blatz.
would not be. Who are you? What is wrong with you that you would think Randy would be drinking Blatz? Like, come on.
He's drinking Barks. That's one rung up from the Big K root beer. I mean, I'm just saying.
True.
Barks is the only caffeinated root beer that I know of. A&W and Mug are not caffeinated.
It has bite.
It's got bite. Apparently, Trump's Twitter got hacked again by the same researcher that did it back in 2016.
That smells like that. This smells like bull. This story that his password was 2020 MAGA
Exclamation point.
Well, yeah, and I mean, but when he did it in 2016, and I went back and looked, and the stories were around in 2016 that he got access to it with the password of "you're fired," because that's all he was doing then was The Apprentice before all this came up. I mean, it could be BS. Whatever.
Twitter says it didn't
Dude,
happen, but
30,000 people a day were probably typing MAGA. It's going to be the first thing you typed if you're trying to hack in his. I'm just saying. Someone needs to delete his Twitter.
There's him and Sabu.
Right.
But I love this. The 24-year-old kid that's built a website that is keeping track of all of the broken ice cream machines in McDonald's across the country.
Yeah, he ends up putting like $13,000 worth of ice cream in his cart at one time or something like that, just to check which ones will actually go through. That kid's going, like, that kid needs a job. Like, he needs to be like that kid is solving problems that the everyday person cares about. He needs a job.
Well, I thought it was it would be crowd. You know what? I'm glad I haven't heard this word in like 2 years. Crowdsourced. Like typically like apps like that, would be, people would input it, but he actually went out and tried to buy them, figure out which ones are out of order.
Yeah, because you can do online ordering.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? It's McBroken.com is the address if you want to check it out. I've never had a problem when I order. If I know I want ice cream, I don't rely on them having it. When I walk in, I'll place an order ahead of time for a McFlurry or whatever, and I never had a problem getting the ice cream that way. So,
I've never ordered a McFlurry from there ever.
Not once. If you want ice cream, try ordering through the app, and you're less likely to get the excuse that the machine is broken.
Try going to an ice cream joint that's going to have better ice cream.
Well, I
To
mean,
be-
at like
Right.
midnight or something if you want.
True. And then from the not really a big shock department, I guess Guitar Center is preparing to file for bankruptcy, which I guess, I mean, it's a little sad because they are a great last minute resource. Like if I realize that I'm out somewhere doing something and, oh shit, I forgot a cable, or oh shit, I forgot this. Yeah, okay, great, I'll run in. But other than that, yeah, I don't really buy anything.
Where am
from
I
them.
going to play Stairway to Heaven now on the weekends?
It's there's a sign up, Bob, that says no Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, I don't know. That day was. I don't think stuff like that's good. Like, where else can you try out musical instruments? Though there's not that many places, especially guitars.
Well, and I
For
did. I mean,
Guitar
they a couple years ago they made the big shift where, instead of just being, instruments and that kind of stuff, they were, doing music lessons. They were doing, private sessions and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Is that a viable business model, in the COVID day and age where you're going to be locked in a small room, with somebody that you don't necessarily know to learn an instrument. So, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, they were planning to file. They hadn't actually filed yet. So I guess we'll see where that goes over the next few days.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, all the places that are going to close after all this madness is up. What's crazy? Have you driven around? Lately? This weekend we had to go somewhere, and all of the Spirit Halloweens or whatever they're called these days. There's a line out the door of like minimum of 20, 30 people outside.
Really?
These are only letting so many people in.
I get that, but aren't there like 4 every block now because of all the stuff that's closed?
Well, and they're huge. They're the size of because they're all old circuit cities and shit.
Yeah.
But there's lines outside of the 3 of them that we saw.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not expecting Halloween to be that big of a deal this year. In fact, I was just laughing because I was listening earlier. I was listening to my kid while he was gaming with his friends, and one of his friends asked, "Hey, when are you going trick or treating? Where are you going?" And he was like, "I'm not going trick or treating." He's like, "What do you mean you're not going trick or treating?" And my kid, God bless him, he's like, "Dude, there's COVID outside, and my dad always buys way too much candy. Why would I go trick or treating?"
Did we talk about the PVC launcher?
I think we talked about that last week, and it's that elbow joint at the bottom that I have the issue with. Like that just signals you're giving out cheap small candy. Like that's
I'm just gonna set
movie
it at a
box
table,
all day.
watch the table from afar, refill it periodically.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really not anticipating seeing a whole lot of kids. I'm just not. I feel for the the parents that have kids at that age where that's still a big thing. I'm like, my kids, dude, barely made it through like 6 houses last year, because it was cold, it was half rain, half snow. They didn't care. They knew we had a bunch of candy at home, so why bother? It just I don't know. I think this should be the year where the kids stand out in front of their house and we drive by and throw candy at them. Like, I feel like that should be the thing.
I think they're doing not like a trunk or treat, but they're doing like drive-by event at like the middle school. We're taking Annie there or whatever.
See,
so
that seems worse to me than regular trick or treating, going to a large crowd of people instead of 1 or 2 people out and about at your door at a time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay. It just remember, COVID goes away 5 days later, Randy. It's okay. It'll all be gone by then. That's
4 days.
And I did. I have now officially voted. Even with a recent COVID outbreak at the damn clerk's office, they went through and sterilized everything and were closed for a couple days. But yeah, so that's off my plate. I'm done. It's over. Just let it all be done and over with now.
Yeah, I did too.
It was time. I guess we should try to talk a little bit of tech. If you've got a Comcast voice remote, apparently there's an exploit out for it that lets people basically take control of it and just start listening in your house. That seems like a problem.
I have mine. I do use it once in a while when I'm lazy. I don't get the exploit doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense to me. What are they exactly doing? Because I read it twice.
I mean, to me, it's no different than it basically just activates the recorder or the input and lets somebody basically tap in and hear what's going on.
And again, have fun listening to
somebody wants to listen to you yell at your wife to bring you Cheetos and Funyuns and yell at your kid.
Right. Annie watching her YouTube Kids in Russian, whatever crap she watches, and then me watching Food Network. And yeah.
And I didn't get too deep into this one, but I mean, just again, so you've got a school system in Mississippi that apparently fell victim to ransomware, and it cost them $300,000 to get out of. I guess they paid it, which, I mean, if you
not only did they pay it, they voted to pay it. Like the school board, like it was a conscientious decision between all of them, like, which makes no sense to me. Like, it's not like the superintendent says, okay, we have to.
Right. Honestly, just based on my own interactions with school boards lately, that doesn't surprise me.
No, but it opened, like, it opens the floodgates for people to do this shit.
To do it again. Yeah, no, that's
line stands.
It looks like the $300,000 was not to pay for the ransomware. They took the systems offline and paid a data recovery company to recover the encrypted data. So
Okay,
that's better.
That's okay. Then I'm all in favor of it. I misunderstood the article then.
Yeah. So yeah, they weren't paying the ransom. They were.
Then I'm much happier with that. Then that's bravo. Sure. Cool. Let's see anything. Yeah. Anything else we got?
You wanted to talk about getting a new phone.
Oh yeah. So I was due for a phone upgrade and I got it. And I don't like getting a new phone. It's almost like getting a new laptop. It is phenomenal. It is exciting. It is great. It is also the biggest pain in the ass known to mankind. Because even with like the smart transfer apps and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't transfer over half the passwords and user IDs and all that kind of crap. And I got to remember, okay, what did I use for this app? What did I use for that app? What were my configurations on this? I got to turn off all the, I got to go through and change all the settings again. Because even though it transfers the data, like all the stupid games that we play, all the notifications are going off in the background again. Every time I open it, sounds are playing and all that kind of crap again that I got to shut down. I don't understand why that's not more streamlined yet. Like that, why all of that stuff can't just come over from phone to phone, especially like it's Android to Android. What's the problem?
iPhone to iPhone is much better about that. None of those things are an issue.
Yeah, it's a good solid week to get everything back to normal, if not longer.
I mean, it took me about 3 days. Although I will say this, dude, the S20 Plus, holy crap. The cameras on this thing, I feel like I could either like shoot Michael Bay quality scenes with this stuff it's got a gigapixel camera. It's got like hyperlapse and all kinds of crazy shit built into it. I mean, it's insane. Like, I don't know who actually needs this in their phone, but like the night vision might as well be daytime. It's crazy. I'm loving it.
I just got a LinkedIn request. I just clicked it because it popped up, and it's a girl named Kim Kelly, and 6 connections, and she's the head waiter at Domino's. You think I should accept it?
Sure, go for it.
From New York, New York.
Oh, even better. Even who knows? Maybe she's listening. Who knows?
You know what I don't get? How do you find me? You have 6 connections, and it says New York, New York, and you're the head waiter at Domino's. How do I become your 7th connection?
I got nothing.
Domino's Pizza or different Domino's?
It says Domino's, and then it brought in the logo from Domino's Pizza.
How are Domino's has waiters?
Yeah, I didn't know they had dine-in options. I thought it was just to go.
It is just to go.
So yeah, that was my mini vent. Like I said, other than taking 3 days to get back to normal, yeah, it is what it is.
All right. Well, hey, you want to wrap things up?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Hey, we're going to wrap things up for episode 371 of the IT and the D Show. I'd like to thank Paul from JVS Services for hanging out with us. Check them out at jvshumanservices.org. Did I do that right? On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home, but you get out of the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.
See ya.
See ya.